With updates on contracts and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Talking about positions that WWE is aiming to fill, Ringside News said WWE is looking to hire new members for its creative team. They recently posted a job on LinkedIn that explains what the role involves. WWE creates original programming year-round for its popular shows, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. These shows mix action, drama, reality, comedy, and adventure. The creative team aims to tell exciting stories with diverse and charismatic characters both on TV and off. The main responsibilities of this job include developing strong and interesting characters for WWE talent. Candidates will need to write engaging storylines for Raw, SmackDown, and some WWE Network shows available on Peacock. They will also work with other writers to create stories that appeal to a global audience. The role involves improving specific scripted segments and checking entire episodes for consistency and flow, using insights from fans and social media to create meaningful storylines that fit WWE's brand and the talent's backgrounds is important. Weekly travel to WWE shows, Raw or SmackDown, and occasional travel to premium live events is required, along with joining weekly creative meetings at WWE's office in Stamford, Connecticut. Speaking about his role in the recently released Terrifier 3 film, Chris Jericho told Jaw Blow Celebrity Interviews, "I was a big fan of the first movie. We discovered it on the Fozzy tour bus, and I was the first person that I knew was talking about it. So I was going on Talk is Jericho, my podcast, and letting everybody know about this movie that you have to see because I have a big horror fan contingency for that show. Then I did a Comic-Con Horror Con, I guess, where David was there and he was on Talk is Jericho. That's kind of how it all started. I was like, you guys got to watch this movie. Terrifier this, Terrifier that. I'd like to think that I was part of the grassroots movement to turn people onto this film, and then once it became kind of a talked about cult hit when Damien started talking about doing part 2, he asked me if I wanted to be involved, and I was like, of course, just tell me what time and what mental institution in Staten Island I have to be at." Mentioning what CM Punk will be up to during his absence from WWE, Ringside News noted that during the October 7th episode of Raw, CM Punk made it clear he would be going on a hiatus and wasn't sure when he would be back, leaving his return date uncertain. The 2024 WWE Crown Jewel event is set for Saturday, November 2nd, 2024 at the Mohammed Abdo Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and CM Punk will not be there for the event. The Hollywood Reporter has revealed that Justin Long, Jermaine Fowler, and RJ Seiler are set to star in Night Patrol, an indie horror film directed and co-written by Ryan Prowse. The movie is being produced by David S. Goyer and Keith Levine under the Phantom 4 banner. Josh Goldblum, known for his work on the recent VHS horror films, is also a producer. T-Shop Films' James Harris and Mark Lane, who worked on 47 Meters Down, are co-producing as well. The film has wrapped up its main shooting in Los Angeles this week. The cast features CM Punk and actor Dermot Mulroney in significant roles, alongside Freddie Gibbs, YG, Flying Lotus, John Oswald, and Nikki Michaud. The story follows an LAPD officer played by Fowler who must team up with local street gangs to uncover a secret within a police task force that puts his old neighborhood in danger. Long plays his partner recruited as part of a family tradition into Night Patrol, while Seiler plays the officer's brother who stumbles upon something he shouldn't have. Mulroney portrays Long's grandfather, a sergeant with hidden secrets, and Punk plays the sergeant's violent right-hand man. Prowse co-wrote the script with Shane Ogbonna, Tim Cairo, and Jake Gibson. The group had previously worked together on Lowlife, Prowl's first film, which was released by IFC Midnight in 2018. Night Patrol marks Prowl's second feature, and the film is set to release in 2025. This isn't the only movie CM Punk will be a part of, as he is also acting in the comedy film Let's Start a Cult, which will be released in theaters on October 25th, and CM Punk was already featured in the trailer. Nonetheless, CM Punk is clearly making the most of his Paradigm Talent Agency deal, and he wouldn't have it any other way, so we'll have to see how the film will turn out in the end. Going over a deal that has been reached in AEW, Ringside News wrote that AEW has quietly secured the services of several key referees, renewing their contracts on one-year deals earlier this year, according to Fightful Select. While specific names were not disclosed, sources revealed that multiple referees have had their agreements extended, with at least a couple already midway through their new deals. These renewals come after a number of referees in AEW saw their previous contracts expire before being re-signed. The expectation is that the referees will eventually transition to more long-term agreements, solidifying their roles in the company. This news emerged as online criticism about a few refereeing moments during recent AEW pay-per-views. Some fans pointed out instances where referees appeared to either push shoulders up or place them down on the mat during matches, leading to confusion and critique. While no official explanation was provided for these incidents, sources assured that such moments will not continue going forward. AEW's referees play a crucial role in the presentation of the product, and these contract renewals indicate that the company is keen on keeping its officiating staff in place, ensuring consistency as they address any issues behind the scenes. Speaking about the possibility of Zilla Fatu joining WWE, Booker T noted on his Hall of Fame podcast, "Zilla is one of my students. He started with Reality of Wrestling over a year ago. Of course, he and I had our differences. He left and came back. One thing about this business, you gotta grow. When you're a young man, sometimes you gotta take hard knocks. You gotta go through those bumps in the road. I wish it could be a whole lot smoother." Of course, Zilla had an incident with GCW. I'm not sure exactly what the full details are. One side says one thing and one side says another. My thing is this: we concentrate on Reality of Wrestling, and our thing is I can't think about anything other than trying to get that young man Zilla, because he's talent, get him to the next level. And the next level for me for Zilla is the WWE. That's his landing zone. That's his safe zone. The WWE and his family. I really believe that. One thing about this business is you're going to need people that are going to watch your back, because you are going to make mistakes when you're young. And if everybody just turns their back on you, I don't know, that's on them. But for me, this young man has nothing but talent. Has he made some mistakes? Of course, we all make mistakes, but I'm definitely going to try to get him all the way to the WWE and beyond, just because he's family. His old man is looking down on him. When he won the Reality of Wrestling Championship, his dad was looking down on him. Reality of Wrestling is Zilla Fatu's safe zone, because one thing about this business, you're going to deal with a lot of different people, and you have to know who to trust. At Reality of Wrestling, he's at home. Asked if he would consider being the general manager of AEW, Eric Bischoff said on his 83 Weeks podcast, "No, I hope AEW pulls a nose up, fingers out of way, and has vision, but we all know it's pretty public, the kind of drama going on backstage. If I was in my 20s and 30s, hell yeah, why not? Especially with the kind of bags that are being thrown around backstage there. Hell yeah, I'd do it. Even in my 40s, I would have done it. But at this stage of my life, I wouldn't go go near it. First of all, the first time I stepped foot in AEW, everything that's wrong with that place would be wrong because of me. I ain't going near it. I wouldn't even want to show up on camera anymore. If everything was fine and Tony and I weren't going back and forth and I didn't call his last all-in show hot garbage this morning, even if none of that was happening and we were buddies, I wouldn't even really want to be on the show at this stage of my life. Why? It's not as much fun for me anymore as it would have been when I was in my 40s. If it was a better environment, if the show was great, if it had some momentum and it was fun, sure I would. If it was fun, but it's not fun. Asked which actor they would want to portray them in a movie, NXT star said this in a video on Instagram.
What actor would play you in a movie?
I feel like Madeline, the one from Outer Banks. I feel like that would be like pretty fitting, maybe?
Young me, Brad Pitt. Old me, I don't even want to think about it. He's probably not with us anymore.
I always get Maya the singer. I don't know if she's considered an actress, but Halle Berry.
John Goodman.
Jaden Smith.
What actor would play you in a movie? Jenna Ortega.
Well, my natural guess would be Robert Downey Jr. I just want the best actor or actress to play Ethan Page. You know what? You let me know in the comments. Who should play Ethan Page?
Michael B. Jordan. I always get told I look like Michael Jordan. Actually, he looked like me.
Gal Gadot, because, Wonder Woman.
What's the name of the guy who plays M'Baku in Black Panther?
Winston Duke.
That's my best bet. That's my best bet.
Ooh, Megan Good. She would be my, superstar for sure.
Although there's got to be about a 30-year age difference. I'm going to say Steve Coogan. Put him in a bit of makeup. You can play me in a film.
She's not an actor, but she's a real housewife of Atlanta star. I'll say Portia, because she look like me and she act like me.
Look, man, you can't replicate this, man. It gotta be Trick Willie playing Trick Willie. Let's talk about it.
Asked about a moment that elevated his career in AEW, Swerve Strickland told the No Contest Wrestling podcast, if I had to guess one, a lot of people like to pinpoint one area, but I would say the Battle Royal at Double or Nothing. If it doesn't come down to me and Orange Cassidy, I don't spark the thing with Tony of being like, he made this amazing. Let's do it again. I don't spark that idea in Tony Khan's mind. Through the office, from talks I heard, it was me and Tanahashi on Collision. It was going into Forbidden Door. He was about to do the high fly flow and he slips off. I run up and start fighting him up there. He knocks me off and gives me the high fly flow and wins. That was the moment Tony was like, I can trust him in anything. I can trust him with anybody and anything. That might be what saved the New Japan relationship with AEW. He became president soon after that. He gets hurt, that goes away. After that, I started wrestling veterans, RVD, Jeff Hardy, Billy Gunn, Sting. Swerve can make it work. Bring on the task, please. Speaking about the current role of Mercedes Mone in AEW, Nick Nemeth said this on Busted Open Radio. Even if you cheered for them 9.5 out of 10. When wrestlers come back and make that return catch you off guard or you're excited about the return, it becomes a 10 out of 10 that really helps the product stay fresh for everybody. On X, Karrion Kross could be seen breaking 3 baseball bats with an ankle lock.
Fuck you. Carbs, babe.
The dogs are worried.
I'm okay.
Come have your protein.
Hi, doggies. That took forever. Hi. It's okay. Yes, I love you too. Oh, fuck.
Your breakfast is ready.
Talking about Brock Lesnar defeating The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30, which would end Taker's undefeated streak at the event, Tommy Dreamer noted on Busted Open Radio, "I still to this day would say perhaps the worst decision in professional wrestling history. I just don't think Brock needed at the time either. The streak was as popular and as a draw for WrestleMania. If you think about it, he had a few more matches left in him. When you went to 2 days, that was a guaranteed main event right there where you didn't have to overthink what you had. Who was going to be this next person to do it? Never would have done it. Brock didn't need it. You always do something like that for someone who needs it. Wish it never happened. The only way I think Taker should have lost is if it was his last ever match." Providing an update on his health, Jim Ross said this on his Grilling JR podcast: "I feel better. I feel better about traveling. I'm not so hesitant about traveling right now because I'm feeling good. My hip still bothers me. I wonder how long a hip replacement takes to heal, but it ain't happened for me yet. But it's getting better, so I'm doing all I can to keep my presence out there and enjoy going out there and meeting with the fans. It's great, it's invigorating, and it makes me feel young." When it comes to a former writer calling out the work environment of WWE, Ringside News wrote that a recent Rolling Stone article titled "Inside the WWE Writers' Room, A Kingdom Ruled by Fear" has garnered significant attention, offering a revealing look into the culture within WWE. The article, which includes interviews with multiple former WWE writers, paints a troubling picture of the company's internal environment. One writer, who chose to stay anonymous, said she felt uncomfortable as a woman because of how the male writers often the female wrestlers. When they weren't doing that, they would make fun of them. On the one hand, this is the product in the story, but on the other hand, I feel like we're not talking about the story anymore. The undertones are dangerous, and what they wanted in their environment scared me. I felt like an object. I felt there's no way I could be in this boys' club. Another former writer described feeling controlled through subtle yet inappropriate physical interactions in the workplace. Although the behavior wasn't overtly, it involved unnecessary touches, like being pulled closer by her waist, creating an uncomfortable and unprofessional atmosphere. They would touch me where they would have me come closer to them, she claims. They would pull me by my waist to come somewhere or move closer to them. I'm just super aware that it's kind of close to my... and most people don't touch me by the waist ever. I thought, this is strange. Several women writers have spoken out about feeling uncomfortable while working at WWE. Two of them reported their concerns to HR, which led to a Zoom meeting in 2020. During this meeting, the affected women were able to share their grievances. One writer mentioned being emotional during the meeting because they felt unsafe at work. However, another attendee claimed WWE didn't take their concerns seriously, and that the meeting seemed like an attempt to calm the situation rather than make real changes. A former writer also mentioned that a male senior staff member told them, "Come to me if you have a problem," but they felt it was insincere. The writer explained that this person was part of the problem as they had enabled Vince McMahon's behavior. "Come to me if you have a problem," which is such BS because he's part of the problem too. He enabled Vince with everything that he did. We've also reported about the disgusting locker room talk in WWE, which made the lives of many writers unbearable, as a leadership figure insulted a colleague in a particularly crude manner, saying, "I wish your dad pulled out and your mom." instead of having you. The article, also a controversial incident, involves a Martin Luther King Jr. Day segment featuring ex-WWE star Neville and many other incidents. Nonetheless, things are clearly better in WWE right now with Vince McMahon's departure, and fans and employees alike are happy about his exit. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.